What are some things you believed as a kid that you later found out weren't true? 1. The sun follows you wherever you go. When I was a kid, I honestly thought the sun was like a spotlight that followed me around everywhere I went. I'd be outside playing or walking down the street, and I'd look up and feel like the sun was right behind me, moving along with every step I took. It gave me this weird sense of importance, like I had my own personal sun just for me. I remember sometimes trying to outrun it or hiding behind things to see if it would disappear, but it never did. It wasn't until much later that someone explained the Earth spins, and the sun actually stays in place while we move around it. That explanation made sense logically, but it kind of killed the magical feeling I had about having a sun that cared about me personally. 2. If you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years. This was one of those things my parents told me so many times that I never questioned it. Every time I accidentally swallowed gum, I'd freak out and imagine this little piece of gum just sitting in my stomach, not breaking down, just lingering for 7 whole years. I pictured it getting bigger and bigger, or sticking to everything inside me like some kind of permanent blob. It made me feel sick just thinking about it. Over time, I learned that gum actually passes through your digestive system and leaves your body like normal food. But for years, I was convinced that swallowing gum was a disaster waiting to happen inside me. 3. I thought the moon only came out at night. Growing up, I was sure the moon was only visible when it was dark outside. I thought it was some kind of night-only phenomenon that disappeared as soon as the sun rose. So, whenever I happened to catch sight of the moon during the daytime, which did happen sometimes, I would either think my eyes were playing tricks on me or I'd get really confused. It took me a long time to understand that the moon is actually in the sky almost all the time, but its visibility changes depending on the position of the sun and the Earth. When I finally learned this, it made me see the sky in a whole new way, realizing that the moon isn't just a nighttime thing but a constant presence. 4. I believed you could catch a cold from being cold or wet. For the longest time, I was convinced that if I went outside with wet hair or didn't wear a jacket when it was chilly, I would definitely catch a cold. I thought the cold air or the wetness somehow invaded my body and made me sick. Because of this, I was very cautious about what I wore, especially in the colder months, and would always insist on being bundled up or drying my hair thoroughly before leaving the house. It wasn't until later that I learned colds are caused by viruses, not by being cold or wet. Even now, though, there's a tiny part of me that still worries if I don't dress warmly enough, just out of habit. 5. I thought swallowing seeds would make plants grow inside you. This was probably one of the most vivid fears I had as a kid. I genuinely believed that if I swallowed a seed, like an apple seed or a watermelon seed, it would somehow start growing inside my stomach. I imagined roots digging into my insides, shoots pushing through, and maybe even a little tree poking out of my skin. It was such a weird and scary thought that I went out of my way to avoid swallowing seeds at all costs. Eventually, someone explained that our stomachs aren't soil and that seeds can't grow inside us. Still, that fear stuck with me for a long time because it felt so real to my young imagination.